What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of This Week at Omnia. We'll be going over some fishing reports submitted by you, the anglers out there, and going over some of the top baits and top bites going on around the country. The season kicked off for the Bassmaster Opens down in Alabama. Eufaula, Alabama to be exact, on Lake Eufaula, also known as Walter F. George, I believe it is the other name for the lake there in Eufaula. We got a submission of a fishing report from Dawson, who fished the Bassmaster Open there in Eufaula, and Dawson was using a shaky head, a Strike King Tour Grade football shaky head to be exact, an 1/8 ounce and green pumpkin. That's an awesome shaky head, by the way, with a trick worm, and he was fishing hard spots, fishing points and fishing shallow all the way out to about 15 foot of water. And he was getting his bites on the fall. So that's probably some post-spawn fish, or maybe even a random pre-spawner that was working its way back into a spawning pocket. He also caught some fish under some docks. They had to hold a little water underneath them, like 4 to 7 foot of water, he said. But slowing down, having that finesse presentation like a shaky head was getting him his bites in, like I said, that 2 to 15 foot range, which sounds like a big range, but if you slow down and pick it apart, and like he said, on the fall, he was catching those fish, so it sounded like those fish were in a transition period during the spawn there, whether they were either coming out or going in. Dawson was getting his bites on the Tour Grade shaky head from Strike King. Next up, we have Brad Leitner. Our buddy Brad was fishing the Open as well, and hard spots outside of spawning pockets were the key. Just like we found with Dawson's report earlier, it seemed like a great transition spot, whether post-spawn or pre-spawn, for those fish. They're looking for those warm water pockets and that adjacent deeper water, and whatever would make a stop sign in between those two was holding those fish. Brad was keying in on him with a DT16, switching out those hooks to the new red line trebles from VMC. That's a common practice with a lot of tournament anglers, upgrading your treble hooks from the stock hooks. A lot of times in practice, you'll run the stock hooks or even bend those stock hooks in a little bit so you don't hook fish. And then you put some higher quality, coated, tournament level hooks on them, because every little bite's going to count. Getting each little fish in the boat is a huge deal when it comes to tournament angling. So upgrading your hooks, and those new VMC trebles are pretty sweet. The red lines are a coated hook, real high-end feeling, really nasty sharp points on them. They're worth checking out if you're going to go out throwing a crankbait anywhere anytime soon. Thanks, Brad and Dawson, for the reports. Look forward to seeing more what goes on at the next Bassmaster Open. As some of you may have already heard about, as promised, we're coming out with our temp layer feature, and we're going to be testing it with our premium customers. This is a beta test that premium customers are temporarily going to have access to all this temp layer data that we have on our lake pages. You'll be able to actually zoom in on the map to any body of water that you want to do your research on and see the temperatures and kind of color coordinated heat map of the lake, and this data gets updated regularly, so it should be as current as possible to give you a better idea of where the water temps are sitting in a certain body of water. This, for example, is Lake Eufaula. We just saw the Bassmaster tournament happen there, and this data here, we checked with some of the anglers that were there post the event and found out that it was extremely accurate, at least when it comes to where those spawning fish and those shallow parts of the lake were holding those spawning fish. So as you see here on the west side of the lake, it was a lot warmer than the east side of the lake. There was more warm water to be had, obviously, to the shallower you got. But you could see the crick arms and the channels that run off of that, where you had the more warm water, where those fish were congregating. You could even see out into the main lake a little bit as you came out of there, where some of those post-spawn fish or even those pre-spawners that were coming in to warm up in those transition waters, where that warm water was as well. So like I said, this is a beta test that we're going to make available to all of our premium customers for a temporary amount of time. And we're looking for feedback on how this is working, because we're always looking to improve upon it. This is new technology that we think is going to help you, the angler, be able to break down bodies of water much more fast and efficiently, especially as you travel down south to those reservoirs or any big body of water, even in the North Country, anything like that. You don't have to put in at multiple ramps and go drive around up and down like crazy to go find that warm water. If you're looking for certain water temperatures, if you're looking for where fish might be setting up in a summer pattern versus a post-spawn pattern versus a spawning pattern, this will be an easy way for you to break down water quicker with the new beta test we have coming out for premium customers on our temp layers here at Omnia Fishing. What's working this week at Omnia Fishing? Well, it seems like people are getting into fishing some craw type baits. Two of our best selling baits were the Zoom Ultra Vibe Speed Craw. I just noticed that I grabbed the mag size, so imagine it just a little bit smaller than this. It's the smaller size than this one actually, just a little bit smaller than this one. About the same size as the Scound Bug from Strike King. This obviously is selling like crazy because it's a new offering from Strike King. This has been a staple in people's boats for decades now. The thing about both of these baits is, to me, they shine all year long. They're great cold water trailers for a jig or being just fished Texas rig or on a Carolina rig, but they also can be fished in the summertime if you're looking for a little bit more subtle action to your jig trailer or your Carolina rig or Texas rig technique. Or these style craws have much more subtle action than your big thumping crazy summertime craws, like a rage craw or something along those lines. Not a big surprise to see that this time of year you're seeing these craw style baits start to come out and play. Down south you've got some post-spawn activity already. You got some pre-spawn and spawning activity. And up north here, we're still frozen, so we're just dreaming about stuff. But as you can see, they're in all three phases of spawn. These are great trailers to use, or just great soft plastics to use for any technique. Next up is another one that shouldn't be a big surprise to any of you, especially with the popularity of big swim baits nowadays, or small swim baits as well, as the Owner Flashy Swimmer. It amazes me year after year how many of these things we sell. If you are an angler that's trying to cover water, looking for bigger bites with soft body swim baits, do yourself a favor and buy a pack of these and try them. This is the 8/0 size here, with I believe it's a 3/8 ounce weight on it. So this is not going to drag the thing way down super deep, especially with a bigger boot tail swim bait on it. But this is perfect for like that mag draft, a lot of your hollow belly swim baits like the Suicide Shad, all that. I know 8/0 sounds huge, but if you look there between where it be in the nose of the swim bait and where the hook point ends, you know, a 5 and a 6 inch swim bait even, this is not too big for that. And it gives you the gap to get that hollow belly or a full bodied swim bait, some room to get this gap there. It gives the bait room to fill up inside of there. So check out that 8/0 size, is a great size. If you're not familiar with the Owner Flashy Swimmers, try out the 8/0, 6/0 if you're running some smaller ones. And obviously they come in all sorts of sizes, so match up whatever swim baits are your confident swim baits. Those are the baits right now that are selling the best. And next we're going to touch on some just landed stuff from Omnia Fishing. And just landed here at Omnia Fishing in Golden Valley, Minnesota, we've got the new Tatula Elite rods. As you can see, this is a cork model here, which is I'm a huge fan of full cork handle rods. Most of my arsenal is full cork handled rods from all sorts of manufacturers. Corey Johnson in particular, this one here is his soft stick bait and football jig rod. So long distance casting or pitching around a Senko like Texas rig style, or fishing a football jig. I heard he even throws a chatterbait and some other moving baits on this rod. It's got a really soft tip. It's got tons of backbone though. He's also got a flipping stick version in this. Patrick Walters has some full cork handle rods. There are still some split grip EVA. I know there's a lot of fans of that style of rod as well, but all the anglers kind of updated their rods and added some new models as well from the whole Daiwa team. They're worth checking out. They are a big improvement in my opinion. I'm a big fan of the reel seats they put on these, and I am a big fan, like I said, of full cork, so I just had to get myself a few more rods. So check out the new Daiwa Tatula Elite rods on the site now. Backed by popular demand, we finally got some more hats in. Got a couple new styles like the one I'm wearing here and this one here. And the PD 2.0 is back. These will be going in soon, so if you were waiting on some new lids from us, they're here now. We got a bunch of them, so enjoy, and thanks for sporting any Omnia gear out there. We love seeing that from all you out there. And keep an eye peeled. We got a lot more new stuff coming in. The dock's loaded up there, and the warehouse is working hard. They're kicking your orders out fast every day and trying to get this stuff put away. But as we get it put away, we'll let you know about some new stuff in from a whole bunch of the fishing manufacturers out there. Take care. Hold up, not done. Forgot about these right here. Tackle storage is always popular with everybody. We all love to tinker with our tackle and make sure it's organized so we're more prepared when we get out on the water. And our friends at Megabass just jumped in the tackle storage game with us here with 2 lunker boxes from them. 2 different sizes in these. They're both deeper in style, which I prefer, to be honest with you. I like deeper boxes. To me, it makes them much more versatile. But you got 2 of them here. They're one-touch lids. You got a clear lidded one here and the little black one. This red one here is real slick looking. It's a deeper style and it's adjustable. Looks like a good one for maybe some swim baits and stuff like that, some bigger style baits, and these are deep. So good stuff here from Megabass. Check these out on the site now.